good evening, good evening. How y'all doing? Come on in. Let's do these dosage problems. Dosage problems. Hello. Y'all double tap in, please, and thank you. Let me know what program you're in. LPN, RN, BSN, Accelerated, Bridge. ADN, can you do a drip factor? Yes, Kendra, I will do a drip factor. I probably do a lot of IV stuff tonight. New York nurse, thank you. All right, so y'all let me know what type of programs y'all are in. LPN, RN, BSN, Associate. No, I just came on tomorrow. How you doing? So, why my thing ain't showing up? There we go. All right, so I've got an in and out problem. I'm doing as well as I can. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got. So if you're new here, I'm Nursey, Blessed RN. I help nursing students in pre-med, med, pharmacy, dental, all that. All you folks who got to get medicine, I help you understand how to dose and do dosage calculations correctly. For the most part, we use dimensional analysis here because it's for people who aren't really good at math, and that dosage is scary for. But no fear, no tears. We do puzzle pieces here. So I show you a puzzle analysis, and it's based off of your metric conversions. So you must know your metric conversions to be successful at any dosage method that you choose. And then we piece together puzzles. So known facts, things that equal each other, your conversions, all those we stay together and we put them in an equation, and you line up by the units, and that's according to the goal. So what the question asks you is your goal, and we're gonna cross out all of our units except for the goal, and that's how we're gonna do mostly all of our problems. Okay, so this one, it's got some converting that's required. So we start off a little easy, then we get, so if you're here for the, just hold on, okay? So during the past 8 hour shift, a patient drinks 3/4 cups of orange juice, zero point 0.5 liters of water, and 3 ounces of ice cream bar. She has continuous IV infusion at the rate of 50 milliliters an hour. She has a urinary output of 660 milliliters, 120 mLs of diarrhea, and she has approximately 2 tablespoons of emesis. What is the patient's 8 hour intake and output? Okay, so with intake and output, as simple as they are, they can be tricky because you have to pay attention to the details. So how long is this shift? This shift is 8 hours, okay? So anything that falls between that 8 hours is what we want to take account of. So intake is anything that's going to be liquid at room temperature, okay? Output is anything that comes out the body that's going to be liquid, okay? So let's do intake first. So we got 3/4 cups of orange juice. So we need to convert 3/4 cups to milliliters because everything has to be milliliters. So we convert everything to milliliters and add all your milliliters together. So that's how intake and output works, okay? So 3/4 cups. So we need to know the conversion from cups to milliliters. Do y'all know how many milliliters is in a cup or what 1 cup equals? Do you? Do you? Do you? Do you, do you, do you, do you? Okay, so I'm going to tell you if you don't. So 1 cup equals 8 ounces or 240 milliliters. So you can memorize either one of them, okay? I like to show you the long way. If you don't remember, 240 equals 1 cup. So you can at least know that 1 cup is 8 ounces. And then you can go from ounces to milliliters. So 1 ounce is 30 milliliters. And then what's ordered is 3/4 cups. Oh Lord, it's a fraction. Why are you scared of something that is not even whole? My God, that's a word, but not for tonight. All right. So look, we start every problem with what it is that we're looking for. Okay. So we're looking for milliliters. So I'm going to use the puzzle piece or the conversion, the thing that equals to each other that has milliliter in it. Okay. So this one has my milliliters in it. So I'll do 30 mLs is 1 ounce. Okay. So then I've got ounce at the bottom. What's on the bottom has to go to the top to get canceled out. So everything has to go except for milliliters, okay? We already got milliliters. So everything that comes behind that has got to go, okay? That's how you learn how to set your problems up. That's how you know what comes next, because a lot of people have difficulty knowing what to come next, how to set it up, what goes on the top, what comes on the bottom. The goal tells you where to start, and then the units that are at the bottom need to go to the top. So you'll look for that unit, that puzzle piece that has that unit in it next. Okay. So we've got ounces right here. So 8 ounces is 1 cup. Okay. So then we've got 3/4 cup from our problem. So just like the fraction is 3 on the top and 4 on the bottom, you keep it the same way. Okay. So ounces crossed out. Cup crosses out. Everything is gone except for milliliters. So now we can solve the problem, okay? So we'll do 30. So multiply across the top, multiply across the bottom. Divide the top by the bottom. So we'll do 30 times 8 times 3 divided by 4. And that's going to be 180 milliliters. So I'm going to start a list with all of my conversions over here that have my milliliters in it, so we can add them together. And if you're like, oh no, you're going too fast, so I didn't write it down, we are live on YouTube right now. So when we get done studying, you can view the replay. My YouTube channel is a blessed RN, same as my handle here. So if you would like to view it, you surely can. All right, so we did the orange juice. Boom. So now we've got 0.5 liters of water. So can everybody hear me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. I always ask, can you hear me? And then I stop talking. So I'm just still trying to talk. Can y'all hear? Y'all good? Okay. All right. Thank you, Matthew. All right, so boom. We need to know how many milliliters is 0.5 liters, right? Okay, so we got 0.5 liters. We know that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So if I'm looking for milliliters, I start with what it is that I'm looking for. 1,000 mLs over 1 liter times 0.5 liters over 1. Liters crosses out. 1,000 times 0.5 is going to be 500 mLs. And so I'm going to put that over there with my other known milliliters, okay? All right, thanks y'all for the sound check. Appreciate it. Okay, so we did water. So now we got 3 ounces of your ice cream. So 3 ounces equals how many milliliters, right? So goal is milliliters. And we have 3 ounces. And we know that 1 ounce is 30 milliliters, okay? So if I'm looking for my milliliters, I start with what I'm looking for. And you'll see during our session tonight, I do it the exact same way every single time. And that's how you get good at it. I'm going to do some heparin. All right, so let's see. 3 ounces over 1. So 3 times 30 is going to be 90 mLs, okay? So that's how you do those. That's how you set up your conversions using dimensional analysis. You got to know them by heart, though. That's how it gets kind of familiar and efficient, okay? So then what else we have? An IV rate going at 50 milliliters per hour. So if we're looking for how many milliliters, and we've got 50 milliliters per hour, and remember it's 8-hour shift, so we got 8 hours. We start with what we're looking for. So 50 milliliters per hour. And we're going 8 hours. So your hours crosses out and you're left with milliliters. So what's that? 50 times 8 is going to be 400. Bolus drops and drops per minute. Is that you talking about aside from the heparin? All right. So then, is that everything that's going inside the body? Okay. Yes. So that's all of your input. So don't put the out in the ends. That's how you're going to get it wrong. Okay. So 180 plus 500 plus 90 plus 400. And that's going to be 1,170 mLs for everything that was going on the inside. You thought it started. It did. I was doing a session. I had a last minute session that kind of ran over. So I'm here now, though. Hey. All right. Okie dokie. So everything that's coming out. So we've got 660 mLs of urine. We've got 120 mLs of diarrhea. Huh?
Dad, I want to get my fellows back.
You want to get your who back?
My fellow.
Huh?
She was supposed to tell you come say
Okay, I'm not.
I want my fellows.
You want your Play-Doh? We're going to play with Play-Doh tomorrow, okay? Oh, she was trying to get some Play-Doh. Don't do that. Don't do that. This little girl had me busy all weekend with her birthday. I'm just like, no more Play-Doh. Okay, so we got 660, we got 120, and then we got 2 tablespoons. So we have 2 tablespoons. We need to know how many milliliters. We'll do how many milliliters is in 1 tablespoon? Y'all know? How many milliliters is in a tablespoon? Remember, teaspoon, tablespoon, then an ounce. 5 ml, 15 ml, 30 ml. Okay. All right. So 15. All right. 15 milliliters is in 1 big T, or you can write out TBSP, right? So then we got 2 big T's, big TA. So the T's crosses out. And so 15 times 2 is going to be 30 mLs, right? So is that everything that has came out? Urine, diarrhea, and emesis. Okay. What is emesis? Anybody know what emesis is? So 660 plus 120 plus 30. It's going to be 810 mLs. And that's how you do your intake and your outputs. Okay. All right. So let's get into some of this IV stuff that y'all been asking me to find. So where is my questions? Oh, buddy. All right. Here we go. So if an IV infusion is started at 7:30 and is to infuse for 5 hours, what time will the infusion be complete? Wouldn't this just mean to add 5 hours to the 7:30? So when y'all see these times on here, like military time and infusion time, I don't want y'all to be intimidated because you know how to count. You know how to tell time, okay? So if you start at 07:30 and you add, so when you add your time, you do minutes on this side and hours on this side. So if you add 5 hours to that, your minutes stay 30, and then 5 plus 7 is going to be 12. So 12:30 in the afternoon is your end time. Okay? So I just kind of wanted to review that before we go into the rest of these infusion problems. Okay? Just add your times together. Your minutes and your minutes, your hours and your hours. Emesis is vomit. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yeah. That is my nurse's Achilles heel. I think secretions, like the secretions that you have to suction in like a trach, and vomit. Those two things are my nurse's Achilles heel. I can deal with stool, I can deal with urine, I can deal with blood. But vomit and secretions, they have me weak. Okay. So a patient is saying a patient is receiving lactated ringers 1,000. Okay, sorry. 1,000 milliliters at the rate of 115 mLs per hour. If the infusion starts at 14:10, what time will the IV be complete? Okay, so yeah, I got the heebie-jeebies now. Ugh. Okay. All right. So focus, focus, focus. Anytime the question asks you about time, our unit of measure that we will be looking for, that will be our goal, is going to be the hour. Well, nurse C, what if it asks you to answer in hours and minutes? It's still going to be hour, because listen to me. When we find the answer to the question, if it has the whole number, that whole number is the amount of hours, right? But what if it has a whole number with a decimal behind it? So the whole number will be the hour. The numbers that are behind the decimal are going to be your minutes, okay? So therefore, we will be looking for hours, because when we get our hour answer, it will give us hours and minutes, because the decimal behind the whole number is your minutes. And we find exactly how many minutes that will be by taking the numbers behind the decimal and multiplying it by 60. Does this make sense? I came to tell you I passed with a 90. Oh, shucks. Hey, turn up. Congratulations, K. Escobar 92. Good work, good work. Okay? All right, so what is our goal? Our goal is hour. So what are our puzzle pieces? So we need to pick out the information. Hey, Jazzy. Okay, I see you later then, lady. Our information. So we got 1,000 milliliters. So that's how much is going. That's how much we have to put into the patient. And then it says it's going at a rate of 115 per hour. So 115 milliliters per hour is what this is running on the pump, okay? So now it says we started at 14:10. What time will it be complete? So first of all, we need to find how many hours, or the time that it takes, which is called the infusion time, okay? Time to infuse, infusion time. So we're looking for hours. Do we have a puzzle piece with hour in it? Yes, we do. So we're going to flip it and we're going to put our hour at the top. So hour is what we're looking for, 115 ml, okay? Now we've got milliliter at the bottom, so we need milliliter at the top. We got a puzzle piece with milliliter in it, right? So 1,000 ml over 1. So now we have just hour, which is what we're looking for. So 1,000 divided by 115 is going to be 8.69 and some more numbers, right? All right, so this part is the hour part. This part is the minute part. So we need to know what is 0.69 minutes, right? So we'll take 0.69, multiply it by 60, and this is going to give you the amount of minutes, okay? So 0.69 times 60 equals 41.4. So I'm just going to say 41 minutes, okay? So it takes 8 hours and 41 minutes. Okay, so we are trying to answer the question, which says, what time will it be complete? So that is your completion time, okay? So the time it takes to infuse is infusion time. What time it's done is when it's complete, completion time. So that's why you have to pay attention to what the question is asking you, okay? So if we start at 14:10, we need to add 8 hours and 41 minutes to it, right? Okay, so this will be the minute side. This will be the hour side. So we've got 8 hours and 41 minutes. So that's 1, that's 5, That's 12, and it's going to be 2. So our end time will be 22:51. Does that make sense? Do I need to do it again? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Or lack thereof. Thank y'all for the likes and the shares. I appreciate it. Do it again. Please do it again. I got lost after the equal sign. Okay. Alright, let me see. Let's do it again. Let's see. 10:51 is clicking. Okay. Alright. So once again, what are we looking for? Time. Time is the goal because we're looking for what time is supposed to be done. When you have time, your unit of measure is going to be hours. Okay? Our puzzle pieces are 1,000 milliliter bag. So 1,000 milliliters is just 1,000 milliliters. It's just by itself. Okay? All right? So then 115 ml per hour. Okay? All right. So we're looking for hours, so we start with what we're looking for. This puzzle piece has the hour in it. I'm going to flip it so that it's at the top. I always start with what it is that I'm looking for because everything else comes behind it and has to be crossed out. Everything but the goal has to go, okay? So, hour over 115 ml. And you keep everything on that puzzle piece together. You don't cut a puzzle piece in real life and put one piece here and one piece there. That puzzle piece is that piece. And even if we reposition it, that puzzle piece is still what? That puzzle piece. Okay? So now we've got milliliter at the bottom. So 1,000 mLs, and it's by itself. So I put it over 1. That 1 is going to show me that goes on that top line of numbers. Okay? So now milliliters crossed out and I'm left with hours. So I can divide 1,000 by 115. And that's going to give me 8.69 and some more numbers behind it. Okay? The whole number is the hour. The decimal, or the numbers behind the decimal, those are the minutes. In order to find out what 0.69 minutes is, I take every number behind the decimal, or just 2 of them, because if it needs to be rounded, you'll know. It'll be significant enough, okay? 0.69 times 60, because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So 0.69 times 60 is 41.4. So I'm just going to round it to the whole number. So 41 minutes, okay? So our total time that it will take for the IV to complete would be 8 hours and 41 minutes. So it asks you what time will it be done. So if you start at 14:10, we need to add 8 hours and 41 minutes to your start time. So that's going to be 51, and this is going to be 22. So our end time is 22:51. Did it make sense this time? Or did I lose you? Yeah? Not that bad. Not that bad. And you still can use your dimensional analysis. That's why I like it, because like all different types of problems you can use it for and find what you're looking for by using your puzzle pieces and your goals. Okay? All right, let's do this one. So IV infusion is started at 13:40. The total run time is, I don't want to do that one. Okay, because we this is just adding hours together. Let's do this one. Here we go. A provider has ordered 1,000 mLs of lactated ringers to infuse at 100 milliliters per hour. The available tubing has a drop factor of 15 drops per milliliter. If it started at 0600, what time will the infusion be complete? Okay, so what time? We're looking for hours, right? Okay, so if we got 1,000 mLs, that's how much is in the bag. It's going at 100 milliliters per hour. Okay, and then we got a drop factor of 15 drops per ml. Okay, so question, what are we going to start with? We start with what we're looking for, which is hours, right? Okay. So, hour over 100. So I've used that. Now let's do this. We have two puzzle pieces and both of them have milliliters in there, right? So nurse C, which one do I use? Okay. If we use this one, don't we have to have something to cancel out those drops? Do we have any other information in the problem that have drops in it? So I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use this one right here. This is the total that's in the bag. And you see my milliliters crossed out. And the only thing that I'm left with is hours. So that's how you use your goal and your puzzle pieces. Even if you're not sure if things fit, you will see if you put it in there, you're like, I don't have anything else to use. So it's foolproof. Even if you didn't know, okay? Because you put that 15 drops per milliliter in there, there's nothing to cross out your drops with because you can't add anything else. There's not a conversion. There's not anything else to add to it, okay? So now we'll do what, 1,000 divided by, just 1,000 divided by 100. Well, 100, right? It's going to be 10. Okay, what would we do? We're going to scratch it out. We're going to scratch it out because it's what? It's fluff. Now, if this were asking about how many drops per minute, would I use it? But I just need to know how many hours will it take to complete. So I don't need it. It's fluff. So we got 10 hours, right? So if we start at 0600 and we add 10 hours, because remember this is your minutes and these are your hours, you have 1600. So our end time is 1600. Does that make sense? Look at you, Kevin. Oh, shoot. My dude Kevin is in the house. Hey, y'all go follow him. He's going to help you break down all things nursing questions, strategies, NCLEX, especially when you get toward the end for NCLEX. But it's going to help you through school, too, learning how to read the rationales on practice questions and knowing how to answer those questions so you can get all of your points, okay? All right, y'all, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I'm learning IV flow right now, but they have 5 equations. What is the simpler equation to use? You know what? I'm going to be totally honest with you. Guess who don't know equations? I don't memorize formulas. I memorize formulas, but I don't memorize formulas. So I think maybe they have it in an instance where they're asking you to find these different things and they have formed a way that you plug it in. But I don't memorize all of the individual ones except for milliliter per hour and the time over volume times your drop factor. Because when I use this, it just gives it to me. What type of exam do you have in your school? Oh, okay. 60 minutes equals an hour. Yes. Yes, Alicia. That's why. That's why you multiply it. Because 60 minutes equals an hour. All right. So, a nurse, they tired. They left the ER. Okay, so is preparing to administer ceftazidime 2 grams IV piggyback every 12 hours. Available is ceftazidime 2 grams in 0.9% normal saline, 250 mLs, and it's to be infused over 90 minutes. The nurse should set the IV pump to deliver how many milliliters per hour? Round to the nearest whole number. Okay. So, what are we looking for? That's the first thing that we do after we read our questions. We see what is the question asking for me to solve for. So, what is our goal? What's the goal? What's the goal? All right, Amaya. Okie dokie. Milliliter on the top and hour is on the bottom. Kevin, did you pin yourself so people can see who you are, sir? Thank you. So, this has some fluff in it. So, let's see how you get through the fluff. All right. So, isn't our goal volume over time? Is it asking for a gram, a milligram, a microgram, or anything like that? Uh-uh. Okay. What is your volume? Okay. What is your time? Well, there are 2 times, right? One has every in front of it, and one says to be infused over. The every 12 hours, that's your frequency. You can identify your frequency by the word every or Q in front of it, or the BID, TID, QID. It's just asking how many times in a day are we going to give this medicine? No. So you see that when it says to be infused over 90 minutes, that is what we are going to use, because we need to see how long this medicine is to be infused over. Okay, so to be given in, to infuse in, to go over. That's the phrases that you need to look for. Okay, so if you get confused, because this is a complete order, it's got the name of the drug and the route and the dosing and the frequency. So all that's important at the bedside, but when you're trying to solve dosage calculations problems, it can be confusing. So we're putting this over 90 minutes. Okay? So now we got milliliter at the top and we got minutes at the bottom. We need hour at the bottom, right? So how are we going to do this? We're going to put 60 minutes on the top and 1 hour at the bottom. So now you have milliliters per hour. You say they tried to trick you. They did, didn't it? But we know better. We know how to weed through some fluff because we use the goal. The goal is there to help you set up your problem. It's going to help you pick out your puzzle pieces. And it's going to help you get this A on this test. A. Okay. So now we do 250 times 60 divided by 90. And that's going to be 166.6 repeating. And it says we need to round to the nearest whole number. So that'll be 167 milliliters per hour. What y'all think about that? What you know about that? Hey. I feel like a little kid scratching my eye. Ugh. Y'all good? Thank you. It's easier than it looks. I'm telling you. People be freaking out and falling all over the place and everything else. And I'm like, stop that. You stop that right now. I don't want to do that. Okay, we'll do a weight base. And then we'll do some heparin. Okay? Heparin in the bolus. So a provider has ordered amoxicillin 50 milligrams per kilogram to a patient weighing 68 pounds. Available from the pharmacy is amoxicillin 250 mgs per 2 mLs. How many milliliters should the nurse administer per dose? Okay, so what is our goal? Milliliter per dose. All right, I want to tell y'all something. There is a ghost here. So, you see the order, right? It's 50 milligrams per kilogram. If it does not indicate per minute, per hour, per day, it is understood to be that this is a dose. It's a dose ghost. Ooh, it's there, okay? But you don't see it. All right? So I want to make sure you know that this is a dose, okay? So we got 50 milligrams per kilogram. And you can put dose on there if you want to, or you can leave it as a ghost. So our patient's weight is 68 pounds, and then pharmacy sends 250 mgs per 2 ml. Okay, so Davina, I'm not changing a god doggone thing. I'm gonna let it do it for me. So when I set up my problems, all the math is gonna math as long as I set it up, okay? I feel like when you change things prematurely before doing the equation, that can have an effect if you don't do it right, if you multiply instead of divide, or if you round too many numerals off, or if you round up or round down. You know what I'm saying? So I just wait to the end. But if that's what you do, then you do it. But here, I let the math. More steps you take. More steps you take, the more mistakes you can make. All right, so I'm looking for milliliter. I start with what I'm looking for. 2 ml per 250 mgs. Okay? Now I've got milligram at the bottom, so milligram goes to the top. I have this puzzle piece with my milligrams in it. So 50 mg per kg. And remember, it's a dose ghost. So that is per dose, okay? So now we got kgs at the bottom. I have pounds, so I'm going to insert my conversion. 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. This is one of those conversions you need to know because you will use it a lot, okay? So now we've got our pounds. So 68 pounds, and it's by itself, so I put it over 1. So everything is now gone except for milliliter and then that dose ghost that's hanging out at the bottom, okay? Now we can do the math. So 2 times 50 times 68 divided by 250 divided by 2.2. It's going to be 12.36. So what if we round to the nearest tenth? What would our answer be? Tay, you was on it, wasn't it? Hey, Carrie. How you doing? What did I say about it being a dose? Oh, dose ghost. So you see right here how it has 50 milligrams per kilogram. If it doesn't have another slash that says per day, per minute, per hour, like indicating a frequency to it, then it is understood as a dose. That is 1 dose. I be so happy for Sundays and Wednesdays. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you. It's good to see y'all, man. Y'all just don't know. I like dosage. This is my happy place. All right. You're welcome. So, I was supposed to round it. My bad. 12.4 mLs per dose. All right. So I'm going to pull out these big body heparin problems because they have y'all in a chokehold every single time until it's just like, oh, that's it? Yes, that's it. Okay? So when you see these problems that come on here and they say that they have a bolus is just big word for one-time administration of a medication. Okay? You divided the 250 and the 2 at the same time. Now, Davina, you know that problem is gone now. I don't know where it's at. If you need to reference this or any of the problems that I do tonight, you can go to my YouTube channel, A Blessed RN, and look at the replay. I multiply across the top. So what I did was the calculator trick. So I multiply all my numbers across the top, and then once I get to the end of the line, I hit divide. And then all my numbers at the bottom, I enter divide in. Well, divide in between those. Okay? Alrighty. The patient has a DVT. What is a DVT? Ordered for a heparin infusion to start at 18 units per kilogram per hour per the practitioner's order. His weight is 75 kgs. The heparin infusion comes in a 5 ml bag with 25,000 units. Calculate the starting rate of the infusion. It's a clot, right? All right, so what are we looking for? Once again, that's what I'm looking for. Milliliters per hour. Deep vein thrombosis. And when a clot breaks loose, what is it called? Okay, I don't see nobody put it in there. But anyways, moving on. What are puzzle pieces? So we've got a weight-based problem. So PE, exactly, an embolus, exactly. So there you go, there you go. Y'all know things. Y'all are smart. Y'all got this, okay? So PPP, patient's weight, the prescription, and the product. For all of your weight-based problems, heparin is a weight-based drug. So you would need your patient's weight, your prescription, and then your concentration of your medicine, which is the product. So 75 kgs is the weight of the patient. The order is 18 units per kilogram per hour, and it comes in a 25,000 unit per 500 milliliter bag. All right, okay. So now, what do? We start with what we're looking for. I do my problems the same way every single time. Read it, find the goal, get your pieces of information out. And I mean, they're not going to come and take your paper and crumble it up. So if you put your puzzle pieces to the side so you can pick your information out, so you won't have to keep going back and forth inside the problem, because it might be wordy, it might look long, and you're still just trying to see what to pick out. Find your puzzle pieces, put them to the side, then you know what you got to work with. All right, so now we're going to start with what we're looking for. So this one has my milliliters in it. I start with what I'm looking for. So 500 ml over 25,000 units. Okay, now I got units at the bottom, so units go at the top. So 18 units per kilogram per hour. Units crosses out, and so now I got milliliter at the top and hour at the bottom. But I have to get rid of the kilograms because the kilograms are not part of the goal. So you see the trend here. What's at the bottom is automatically going to go to the top if it's not part of the goal, okay? So our kilograms are 75 kgs, and it's not in relation to anything. It's not kilogram per day, because one day does not equal 75 kilograms. So only things that equal to each other, or that are conversions of each other, or that are together in the problem, go together. You don't have to make everything go together. Things can be single, okay? All right, so now everything is gone except for milliliter at the top and hour at the bottom. So we'll do 500 times 18 times 75 divided by 25,000, which is going to be 27 milliliters per hour. So that's how you do your heparin drips. Now I'm going to do one with the bolus in it and the drip, okay? Anybody have any questions about this one before I move on? I'm trying to scroll up. Tamika, this will be my last week in A&P. I haven't been able to watch you. See you soon. My next school is calculation. Hey, come on. I wish I knew this before. Joey, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. Ooh, baby. No. But, you know, they make dosage, you know, a little bit difficult sometimes. But I'm just like, it doesn't have to be. Especially with these puzzle pieces. what's easy? I mean, a lot of people say math and they're like, ooh, math. I'm like, it's not math. It's not hard math. It's just you need to know your conversions. You need to know how to multiply. You need to know how to divide, add, and subtract. That's it. That's it. Okay, your patient has a order to receive a heparin bolus of 4,000 units, followed by an IV drip of 14 units per kilogram per hour. Your patient weighs 203 pounds. You have a heparin vial labeled heparin 1,000 units per milliliter. What will you give your patient for the initial bolus? And then what will you set your IV pump at for a continuous drip if your 1,000 ml bag is labeled 40,000 units of heparin? Okay, thank y'all for the likes and for the shares. I really appreciate it. Okay, never mind. All right, I'll tell you about it in a minute. Boom. So, our goal for the bolus, because that's what we'll do first. Because what did I tell you? Bolus is big word for one-time administration of medicine or solution or even tube feeding, okay? It's not going to be a continuous drip. So all of the bolus information that was provided is going to stay with the bolus information, okay? So, boom. Bolus is 4,000 units. That's what's ordered. And then we've got 2 heparin medicines, right? Medications. We got a vial and we got a bag. The bag is for your IV drip. Your vial is going to be for your heparin bolus, okay? So 1,000 units per ml. Okay, so we need to see how many units that we need to draw up from this medicine vial and shoot in the patient's IV, because heparin has to get into the bloodstream at a level that it starts working, and then we have to maintain that level with a IV drip. Okay, so that's why you have these 2 types of problems where it has like a bolus and a drip. Okay, so if we're looking for milliliters, we're going to start with what we're looking for. Same way that we've done all of our problems tonight. Start with what you're looking for. You don't have to go and find it. Okay? So ml over 1,000 units times 4,000 units. Because our units were on the bottom, they're on the top now, and everything is gone except for milliliter. And now we've got what? 4,000 divided by 1,000 is 4 mLs, and that's for your bolus. That's all that's to it. I take ATI pharmacology next month. Okay, Tosh, at Mac. Do you have a recommendation for a table chart of conversion ratios to? Yeah. So if you come on thing, here we go. You see this website? If you go right there, then there are conversion cheat sheets. There are study cheat sheets that show you how to do dimensional, what to start with, what goes on the bottom, what goes on the top, how to set it up. You can print it out. There are practice problems. There are quizzes. So, yeah, there you go. And if you are having problems with your IV stuff, there is an IV course on there. So, yeah. There you go. And then if you need to help learn how to memorize your metric conversions, I posted a video on my channel not too long ago to show you how to group things and how you can memorize them, because not all of them that you'll need heavily. You might have that first couple of tests that have like going all the way from King Henry died by chocolate milk, you know what I'm saying? But afterwards, you see that we're only using like a handful of conversions that you really, really use. Okay? You're welcome. Okay, so next, what we have is the drip. Right? So, our goal, because it says IV pump, so anytime you see IV pump, you'll do milliliter per hour, okay? Milliliter per hour. If it's gravity, so if it's just by itself with the little calibrated tubing set, it would be drop per minute. So This says IV pump. So our goal is milliliter per hour. So this is a weight-based question, right? So PPP, patient's weight, the prescription, and the product. So the patient's weight is 203 pounds. The prescription is 14 units per kilogram per hour. And then the medicine is 40,000 units over 1,000 ml. Okay, so how are we going to set this up? We're going to start with what we're looking for. 1,000 milliliters over 40,000 units. Units on the bottom, units on the top. 14 units per kilogram per hour. So we got milliliter on the top, that's gold. We got hour on the bottom, that's gold. Kilograms has got to go, but we don't have kgs, right? We have pounds. So we'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds times 203 pounds over 1. And you see everything is now crossed out except for milliliter per hour. And you see how you can look back at the problem and make sure that you have everything in it that you need and that everything is crossed out. So you can't mess it up. And once you have it set up, then you can do your math. So 1,000 times 14 times 203 divided by 40,000 divided by 2.2. So it's 32.29. What if we rounded this to the nearest tenth? What would our answer be? The nearest tenth. So what y'all want to do next? Oh man. Thank you for the likes and for the shares. I appreciate it. IV pump is milliliter per hour. What was drops per minute? Gravity. So that goes via the problems with when they have the drop factor in it. So what a drop factor is how many drops in the chamber, the little squeezy part of the tubing, how many drops fall in that chamber. And that is how many drops it takes to administer 1 milliliter of solution or medicine. So you'll need a drop factor when you just have drops just dripping, because you set the rate of how many drops fall per minute. A reconstitution problem. Droops per minute. Okay, Bobby. Bobby, you trying to get it in. Is that the GTT thing? Yes, it's the I can't talk. GTT thing. Can you do a question to find the drop factor? No, because you have to find the drop factor. You have to be given a drop factor, I should say, because that's how many drops are to be given per milliliter. So you can't answer the question without a drop factor. Prince Ali, obviously, Ali Ababa. Alright, what is this? What is this stuff right here? My friends, okay, it's okay. Yeah, all right. Reconstitution, yeah, I get those too. All right, so a patient is to receive 1,000 mLs of 5% dextrose in lactated earners over 8 hours. Using tubing with a drop factor of 15 drops per milliliter, the nurse should regulate the fluid to infuse at how many drops per minute. Okay, so we are looking for drops per minute. Okay, so what are our puzzle pieces? So anytime that we have an IV, we need to know how much fluid to give the patient. So that's your volume over how long it takes to get it inside their veins. So that's the time. So do we have a volume and do we have a time? Our volume is 1,000 mLs, and then our time is 8 hours. It literally tells you to put it over 8 hours. Do you see that? Okay. So your drop factor is 15 drops per milliliter. Okay. Now we got our puzzle pieces. We're going to set it up with the goal. So we got drop on the top. So that's going to go first. So I'll use this one. 15 GTT per ml. Now I've got milliliter at the bottom. So I need milliliter at the top. So 1,000 ml per 8 hours. Now we've got hour at the bottom. I need minute at the bottom. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. So you see how I go from each relationship, if you will, each puzzle piece, right? And that unit that's at the bottom, if it's not in the goal, I automatically throw it to the top. What piece do I have that has milliliter in it? This 1,000 milliliters per hour. And 8 hours, then I had hour at the bottom. Is that part of the goal? No. So I know I had to do my conversion. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. So that's how you set up all of your problems. And now we can do the math. So 15 times 1,000 times 1 divided by 8 divided by 60. And I get 31.25. And usually with your drops per minute questions, you want to round to the nearest whole number, because you can't divide a drop. You never walked in the kitchen and saw a quarter of a drop. If you did, you need to get out of your kitchen. I'm sorry. You call the priest quick. All right. So 31 drops per minute. Do you have any tips on how to study for med-surg? Yeah, we could talk about that, Joey. Med-surg too. Yeah. What about the 5%? Okay, so this is what throws a lot of people off too. So what this is the solution, okay? When you're in school, you're learning about your solutions, your isotonic, your hypertonic, and your hypotonic, okay? This is just a type of IV solution that is to be given. It's just like the medicines that you would see in the other different types of problems. Sometimes you might see that you have medicine that is in solution. So you can't give anything that's whole in the IV, right? You crush up a pill and put it IV you want to. You be under the jail. Okay? You can't put whole medicines in an IV, because anything inside the bloodstream is going to what? It's going to clot. It's going to kill your patient. So therefore, that medicine has to be diluted. It has to be in a suspension, a solution, if you will. Okay? So that is often what time the medicine is swimming in. So when you see something that has like such and such milligrams in half D5, half normal saline, it's just the type of solution that medicine is in, or what is being ordered to replenish or maintain the volume. Okay. Alrighty. Bobby, you're going to be fine. Yeah, take your time. Take your time. Take your time. You said that one was easy. Okay. When y'all get to talking about some easy, then I throw something out and you're like, oh my gosh. I'm like, okay. All right, so Zyvox, 600 milligrams IV once a day is ordered for a patient. The Zyvox is dissolved in 350 mLs of normal saline and should infuse over 1 hour. Using a tubing with a drop factor of 20 drops per milliliter, how many drops per minute should the Zyvox be infused? Okay. Sharquise, yeah, I'll do fluid volume maintenance. Just a second. Okay, so what are we looking for? We're looking for drops per minute, right? Drops per minute. All right, so what is the volume? What is the time? Over 1 hour. Oh, I gotta put the puzzle piece together. Hold on. Okay. And then 20 drops per milliliter is your drop factor. So we know that this was fluff. Okay? So, what we start what you're looking for. 20 drops per milliliter times 350 mLs over 1 hour. And then we know that 1 hour equals 60 minutes. Boom, 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 boom. Drops on the top, minutes on the bottom. You're welcome. All right, 20 times 350 divided by 60. It's going to be, 20 times 350 divided by 60. That's a lot of drops per minute. 116.6 repeating, so 117 drops per minute. I start my nursing. You got it. Hey, look at you doing stuff. Y'all make sure that you always round according to your instructions, and you label it, because you will get it wrong. And you will be so mad because you'll sat there and done all that hard, complicated math, and they mark it off because you don't label around. I've seen it. I'm telling you. I start my nursing program in January. What should I start learning, brushing up on now? Metric conversions. Go over your anatomy and your physiology. And congratulations. Question, why didn't we use the other number? The other number was the strength of the medicine. So remember when we were talking about the 5% dextrose? So that question had normal saline. So that's what the Zyvox was swimming around in. So the 600 milligrams was in that 350 milliliters of normal saline. So once that normal saline was entered into the bloodstream, that Zyvox was too. We weren't looking for grams, milligrams, or micrograms. So therefore, it was fluff. All your IV problems are volume over time. Make sense? Makes dollars make sense? Okay. Mental health had me in a chokehold. Yeah, I hate. You really have to be heavy into your farm for mental health. Your questions and your therapeutic communications, that's important for your mental health class, and that god doggone pharmacology. Yeah. Okay, so this is fluid volume maintenance. Okay. So there are like 3 different formulas, and you know how I feel about formulas that you have to have for fluid volume maintenance. So you've got one that is for 0 to 10 kgs, which is going to be 100 milliliter per kg. You got one that's for over 10 kg but less than 20. So it'll be 1000 mLs plus 50 mLs per kg, and that's for every kg that's over, kg that's greater. Kg that's greater than 10, right? So you would have to take whatever your kgs was minus 10 and then use that part for the formula. Or if you have greater than 20 kgs, it would be 1500 mLs plus 20 mLs per kg. And that is for kilograms that's greater than, why did I put 10 milliliter? That's supposed to be kg. I'm sorry. So you would have to take your weight minus the 20 kg and put it in the formula. Okay? So there is a simple way to not memorize this formula. Okay? So Give me a weight. Give me a weight. So this is peds, right? This is used for your pediatrics. Give me a weight that's under 30 kgs. Just give me a weight. Throw out a weight. And yes, I will do oxytocin magnesium problem. Okay, so I see 13 kg. Okay? All right. So if our patient's weight is 13 kilograms, we are going to take the weight, and you saw how we had those three different problems, those three different formulas. You had 10, 10, and 10, basically. So what we'll do is we're going to dissect the weight by 10, 10, and then the rest. Okay? If it is there. If it's not there, then you can't add weight to it, right? All right, so listen. So the first 10, and then we have 3 more. So that equals 13. Well, buddy, I hate this. Anybody updated it to the iOS 18 and it wants to do the math for you? I can't stand it. Like, no thank you. Okay? So, remember in the formula, that first 10 kg was 100 milliliters per kg. And then the second one was 1,500 plus your 50 milliliters. This is how we do that, and we don't have to memorize the formula. So that first one is going to be 1,000. Then you have 3 times 50, which is going to be 150, and you just add it together. And that's going to give you your fluid volume maintenance for the whole day. Okay? So let's see. Somebody else said, okay, so what if it was like 24? So if it was 24 kgs, so the patient's weight is 24 kilograms. So we have the first 10, the second 10, and then the rest, right? So we just dissecting the weight by tens so that we can get the total weight. So the first 10 kg is times 100, the second one is times 50, and the third is times 20. So that's going to be 1,000. This is going to be 500. And then this is going to be 80 milliliters. And that's how you do your fluid volume maintenance. And that's to be given over 24 hours. So if they asked you, what would you set the IV pump for? If you are trying to find the fluid volume maintenance for a pediatric patient who was 24 kgs, you break it down. 10, 10, and the rest. First 10 kgs is times 100. The second 10 is times 50. The third is times 20. Does this make sense to those who kind of was a little bit like, what is this? And if they ask you how many milliliters per hour you would set your IV pump for, you got your total amount. It goes over 24 hours. So 65.83. And if they wanted you to round to the nearest whole number, 66 milliliters per hour. Why is the third times 20? Okay. So you see, these were the 3 formulas, and you can find the formulas on the resource tab of my on my website. So the third formula, if it was over 20 kgs, you would give that 1,500 from those first 2 amounts that you've seen, and then it's times 20 mLs per kilogram. So that's just the formula that they came up for it. Who did? I don't know. How? I don't even know. But this is how you do it the easy way. Okay, without memorizing it. No, you're fine. You're fine. So, try 81 kg. This is for pediatric patients, but sure, I'll show you. I don't think that they're going to be 81 kgs because that's what 81 times 2.2. They're 178. That's a whole adult. Give me another number that's like 30 something. Let's see. I'll do one more. Wait. is, let's say they were 33 kg. Okay? So you would do the first 10, 20, then the rest. Times 100, times 50, times 20. So you automatically have your first 1000 ml, the second 500 ml, and then 13 times 20 is going to be 260. So it's 1760. And then if they ask you for how many milliliters per hour you would set on the IV pump to deliver the fluid volume maintenance for a 33 kg pediatric patient, then you would just put it over 24 hours. So 1760, right? Divided by 24. It's going to be 73.3 repeating. This is so helpful. I can't wait to get back for school. You're welcome. Is this really good and fast? Yeah. Pearl. So we have to break it down by 10, 10, and then the rest. Okay? Do you only have to break it up twice? So you do the first 10 kgs, the second 10 kgs, and then whatever is remaining. And remember, this is for peds. So somebody was like, could you do like 80 something kgs? I'm like, that's for a patient. Like, that's big. That's an adult. And I think it's it's a like rule of fours or something. That's for the adult. I don't know. I'm a little cloudy. Okay. But yeah, that's how we would do that. For adults, it's different. Okay. What am I doing? Magnesium and Pitocin stuff, right? Magnesium. Practice questions. And then I'm going to get me something to eat, and then I'm going to go to bed. Hey. I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to all of our vets and current service members who are serving in the United States military. I was a military spouse and military brat. So I appreciate y'all because it couldn't be me. So I appreciate y'all so much. What am I looking for? Magnesium. So what is this? OB. I'm trying to think what I have it under. Like seriously, where is it? Maternal OB. Okay. Alright. So the order, continuous infusion of 1.5 grams per hour of magnesium sulfate. Available is 40 grams per 1,000 mLs of lactated ringers. Calculate the infusion rate for the pump for the continuous infusion. Okay, so remember we got pump, so that means we're looking for milliliters per hour. Okay, so that's the goal. So what is our puzzle piece? 1.5 grams per hour is what's ordered. Available is 40 grams in 1,000 mLs of lactated ringers. And we're going to start with what we're looking for. Okay? So 1,000 mLs over 40 grams times 1.5 grams per hour. Grams crosses out. Now you got milliliter per hour. That's how you do that. See how the puzzle pieces work, man? I love this. I love this method. I hated this in school. If we're being honest, which I like to be honest and transparent, I didn't like this in school. I was a pharmacy technician before I was a nurse. So I kind of had some, a good grasp on, math. So I was mathing. The math was mathing for me. But the way that this worked and how to set it up was confusing. It seemed like it was just long and it went on forever. And I just didn't like it. But when I got older and wiser and I saw how it worked, like you really don't have to be good at math to be good at dosage calculations. Because this way, you see, we just picking out information and lining it up according to the units of measure. And then at the end, once the equation is set, all you're doing is multiplying and dividing. I got you. I got you, Andrea. Okay, milliliter per hour. So if you've got, okay, close your eyes. Don't look. Okay. So if you've got Pitocin, right? Pitocin is measured in units. So just like you have a gram and a milligram, isn't 1 gram 1,000 milligrams? 1 unit is 1,000 milliunits. Okay? Don't let that difference of unit of measure throw you off. That prefix, that milli, still indicates that that's 1,000, the factor of 1,000. Okay? So on hand is 500 mLs of lactated ringers with 30 units of Pitocin. Order is to infuse at 7 milliunits per minute. Set the pump to infuse at how many milliliters per hour? Okay. So our goal is milliliter per hour. So we've got 500 milliliters with 30 units of Pitocin in it. We have to infuse it at 7 milliunits per minute. Okay, start with what you're looking for. So 500 over your 30 units times your units. We don't have any units, right? We have to do the conversion. So we'll put unit on top, milliunit on the bottom. 1 unit is 1,000 milliunits. So your units cross out, and now you've got your milliunits at the bottom. So 7 milliunits per minute. Your milliunits crosses out, and now you're left with your minutes at the bottom. We need hours at the bottom, right? So now we do our last step. 60 minutes is 1 hour. And everything is now gone except for milliliter at the top and hour at the bottom. So I got 7 milliliters per hour. Then Kobe, I got the same thing as you. Does this make sense? Is it making sense? Makes dollars make sense. Okay. Y'all. Wait, what? Yeah. What? You're welcome. This makes a lot of sense. Melanin to medicine. What program are you in? What did you multiply across? I did. Okay. So if you haven't been here before and you're like, why are you not writing nothing down? Because I don't like to write stuff down. That's another step. The more steps you take, the more mistakes you are liable to make. So I do everything inside the calculator. So I take the top number, the top line of numbers. No, you're fine. The top line of numbers, and I do multiply between. So I don't include the ones because that's, like I said, another useless step. The ones don't make a difference, so I don't add them in. So I do 500 times 7 times 60. Once you get to the end of that top line, you hit divide. Okay? And then you enter in all of your numbers across the bottom, but you hit divide in between. So 30 divide 1,000. Hit the equal sign 1 time, and that's going to give you your answer. these come in real good handy. The calculator trick for when you have those weight-based problems and you have to like have micrograms and those a lot of conversions where you have like those long numbers and all of those zeros, and you're just like, okay, this got real big real fast. But then it's like as you enter in your bottom numbers, you see it get small, and you're like, okay, I didn't do this wrong. Because you're like, wait a minute. Yep. Anybody have any more questions about this one? When do I go live? I go live on Work It Out Wednesday. I'm glad. Cool. I'm glad you like it. So I go live on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Central Time, and Study Buddy Sunday is 7:30 p.m. Central Time. I was a little late tonight. I had a session that kind of went over, but that's okay because we still came on. We still had to handle business, okay? And I am available for private tutoring. I haven't put my hours on this week. So if it says I'm not available for booking with the next 6 months, that's not true. I just haven't put my available hours up. And then that resources tab right there, that is where you can find your free resources. So your conversion charts, and the way that I put the conversions together is so that you can kind of group them and see them together. Now, the Fahrenheit and the Celsius, I have not came up with a clever way to memorize that. And that's a pain in the butt. But the rest of them, like the 1,000, the cookie analogy for your grams, micrograms, milligrams, and your kilograms, that's on there. The fluid volume maintenance, the actual formulas are on there, but the method is not. But I think I did post a video to my YouTube. So if you want to review the replay, it will be available in a couple of minutes. So good night, YouTubers. Thank you for joining in. It was so much